All right, here we go. Welcome. I call to order the Town Council regular session. The date is Monday, March 10th, and the time is 7:34. And we are excited tonight to have a Brownie Troop with us that we're going to call up, and we have a special proclamation in reference to Girl Scout Week. But I'd like to bring up Troop 205. This is third grade Brownie Troop from West Kingstown Elementary School under the leadership and guidance of their leader, Sarah Delmonico, and we also have their assistant leader, Michelle Young. So girls, if you could come up, I'm going to hand you the microphone so that you can introduce yourself, and then somebody is going to start us off with the Pledge of Allegiance. So come on up, right up here, and tell us who you are. And you can look at the cameras. Here's the microphone.
Because you want to be on TV.
Hi, my name is Sahara.
Hi, my name is Abby.
Hello, my name is Maya.
Hi, my name is Cameron.
Hi, my name is Ava.
Who's going to lead us off in the pledge with the flag right here? All right, anytime you're ready.
Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nicely done. And we have a proclamation, so don't go too far. Come on back.
Come on back.
Don't go away.
Come on back.
Oh, they wanted to go to their seats for a special reason. I see a green box, Jim.
Thin mint.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
What we got? Oh,
And
Jim's
he
got
has
the
been
Thin
waiting
Mints.
for a green box of cookies for years. So you must have read his mind. All right, girls, we have a
Jim, you got the Thin
proclamation
Mints.
from the Town Council, and I'm going to read it. It says, Girl Scout Week, March 9th to March 15th, 2014. Whereas Wednesday, March 12th, 2014, marks the 102nd anniversary of Girl Scouts of the United States of America, founded by Julia Gordon Low in 1912 in Savannah, Georgia. Whereas through Girl Scouting, girls grow in courage, confidence, and character, and learn to make the world a better place. Whereas throughout its long and distinguished history, Girl Scouts, the preeminent organization for girls, has inspired millions of girls and women with the highest ideals of character, conduct, and patriotism. Whereas Girl Scouting takes an active role in increasing the interest skill levels of today's youth in math, science, and technology careers, and to fulfill our country's economic needs. And whereas through participation in Project Undercover, a council-wide community service project, every girl will learn that she can make a change for the better in her community. Whereas the Girl Scout cookie sale is the world's largest girl-led business, teaching financial literacy to girls of all ages. And whereas Girls Scouts of the Rhode Island Incorporation, which serves 12,000 girls in the Rhode Island area, will be celebrating 102 years of an American tradition with more than 3.4 million current Girl Scout members nationwide. So now, therefore, we, the Town Council of the Town of South Kingstown, do hereby proclaim the week of March 9th to the 15th, 2014, as Girl Scout Week in the Town of South Kingstown, and urge our citizens to support Girl Scouts in their endeavors.
big smiles. Thank you.
I remember those days.
Stay with it, and hopefully we'll be seeing some of you with silver awards and gold awards, and stick with it because the town council attends those as well. So keep up the good work. Thank you. And kudos to the leaders. You know, thank you for the time that you give.
Thank you.
With that said, Dale, could we please have the roll call?
Council President Whaley.
Present.
Here.
Here?
Councilwoman Haley.
Here.
Councilman O'Neill.
Here.
Thank you, Dale. We have the approval of minutes of previous meetings. We have the work session, February 25th, 2014.
I move approval of those minutes.
Second?
We have motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We also have the regular session of February 25th, 2014.
I move approval of those minutes.
Second?
Ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Would any council like anything removed from the consent agenda?
Hearing none, I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Which brings us to communications. Our first is a communication dated February 13th, 2014, from Eula Kimlanda, a student at the Compass School, concerning a ban on plastic shopping bags in South Kingston, has received, placed on file. The town council further directs, and I just want to make sure that she's not here. Okay.
We discussed this at the work session, and I commend Ula for her interest in the community and her activist role. We would like to refer her issue on the plastic shopping bags to the Conservation Commission, so I move that we do so.
Second?
We have motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Our second communication dated February 21st, 2014, from Claire Douglas, Oceana Campaign Director for Climate and Energy, concerning the proposed use of seismic air gun testing to search for offshore oil and gas near Rhode Island's coast, is received, placed on file, and the town council further directs.
We discussed this also at the work session, and I move that we place it on file.
I second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Our third communication is a resolution adopted February 26, 2014 by the Newport City Council concerning the Federal Transportation Reauthorization Act and funding the state's transportation improvement program, is received, placed on file, and the town council further directs.
We discussed this at the work session, and the Federal Highway Trust Fund disperses money to states for transportation projects on an annual basis, and it is approaching insolvency. And the state of Rhode Island's transportation improvement program is predominantly funded through the federal transportation appropriations. So we discussed this at the work session, and I move that we support the resolution of the Newport Town Council, City Council, excuse me, to enact to encourage our Rhode Island congressional delegation to enact a long-term federal transportation Reauthorization Act, which will provide the necessary federal resources to maintain and improve Rhode Island's transportation infrastructure, and to encourage the Rhode Island General Assembly to support the Rhode Island municipalities by developing a sustainable funding source for transportation infrastructure at the state level. And I move that we forward this this resolution to our state legislative delegation and to the governor and the congressional delegation.
Second?
Motion is second. Thank you, Carol. Any further discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Our last communication is dated March 4th, 2014, from Francis P. DiGregorio on behalf of the Common Cause Rhode Island, requesting support for joint resolution Senate 2034 and House 7593 that would allow putting before the voters a constitutional amendment to again include the Rhode Island General Assembly under the jurisdiction of the Rhode Island Ethics Commission, is received, placed on file, and the town council further directs.
I think this communication speaks for itself. I move that we support Communication D and that we support Joint Resolutions S2034 and H7593 that would allow putting before the voters a constitutional amendment to include the Rhode Island General Assembly under the jurisdiction of the Rhode Island Ethics Commission.
I second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is comments from interested citizens. I'm going to open the microphone. If anybody would like to come to the microphone to bring up any issues, now is the time.
Jonathan Daly LaBelle. I bought 4 or 5 boxes of Girl Scout cookies myself this year.
We have them all, too.
That was real, and, well, I have help. That was nice to see. So just to, I am a school committee member. I cannot speak for the school committee, of course, and so, but, I do feel like that is a role that I have, so I just mentioned that, and I come as a concerned citizen. So I just wanted to follow up with the last time I was here, at the end of January, and so I just thought I would initially ask if there was any thoughts of having a conversation around the topics that came up from the meeting in the middle of January, which I followed up on at the end of January.
I know there's just a clarification that I want to make, Jonathan. The emails that you sent to the town council, I think that you were expecting those to be placed on the agenda tonight, and this town council has, it's not really a written policy, but any emails that we receive, we don't put them on as communications. All of us receive, I mean, I could receive 4 to 5 emails, a day. So we didn't really think that that was, the emails that you sent were going to be on this communication for tonight. But you're here tonight to speak. And if you could just tell us what the issue is,
Okay, so, and I want to be respectful of time.
Thank you.
Okay, so, from the January meeting, the question was, if we continue to have student enrollment decline, will we end up needing to close the school? And so I said that there's things that the school department does, such as excessive amounts of testing is one example, which sometimes causes people to opt out of the school system. So there are things that the school department can do to maybe help retain students. But I also brought forward the point that the town council, that the town has policies that may impact the number of students. And so that's what I followed up on at the end of January. I brought forward specific examples to show that the town does have policies that curbs growth. And so really that's, and I think I said 4, 5, 6 times, I'm not trying to be critical of efforts over the last 15, 20, 30 years, but more just can we assess where we're at and where does the community want to go?
Okay. My initial response to the student enrollment decline with that meeting, and closing a school, I'm just going to reiterate, in talking to different school committee members and the superintendent, I mean, that's not even a discussion to be had. It's not on the table to close a school, and so I don't feel as though that's even a discussion. Are you in agreement with that there's no talk about closing a school?
This school committee, this school department, I wouldn't commit to anything that they would do.
All right, but there's nothing
They're
on the
not-
table now for any closing of the school.
That's true, but,
Okay.
that's the same thing with the preschool. It was not going to be at South Road. They had meetings 2 years ago, and then including with you, with this board, the town council, and then they went back to their own room over at the school department and said, oh, you know what, let's move it to South Road. And they voted to move it to South Road. So there's nothing that this school committee and school department would do would shock me.
All right, and the comments that I'm just going to try to fill in.
So, I mean,
and
to get away from the closing of the school, the closing of the school a little bit, that's not, what I heard is, do we want to do something about student decline? Because I don't think anybody said, well, in the near term, I don't think anybody thought that it means that they're going to close the school next year. But what the conversation was, if the decline continues, will you need to close the school? So, I mean, is it such a crazy idea to have a little bit of long-term planning? So it was really like in 2 or 3 years. So are you saying that the superintendent and school committee members are saying no school's going to be proposed to be closed in 3 or 4 years' time?
I'm going to repeat exactly what I said. It's not on the table now.
Well, then that's...
And
can we
I
look-
don't feel comfortable having a conversation about, something that's not even on the table. We do have our budget work session on Wednesday night. I'm not going to try to solve a problem that's not a problem yet. That's the only thing that I'm saying.
Okay, so do you think this will be part of the conversation on Wednesday?
I
Ken?
don't think that it is part of the budget. I don't think that it is.
I'll give you my thought. I don't know if my microphone's on. Right now, Ella's right, and I have to agree with her. We're not projecting anything that's going to be closing. I don't know what the school committee is talking about, but guess what? We can't even predict what tomorrow's going to bring. And 3 or 4 years down the road, who knows? The entire state is actually having declining enrollment in their schools. And I think, Jonathan, in all fairness, I appreciate your integrity and I respect you immensely as a person, but I have to say, we don't know what's going to happen 4 years down the road because we don't know what the economics of the town are going to be. We'd like to predict it, but things happen. And hopefully no schools have to close. That would be my great thought, and you probably feel the same way.
Well, I guess, I'm just trying to be realistic and trying to approach this, in a way of what does the community want? And I know you guys get some pressure around the Larchwood Inn, but I think that people in the community would like to know if something's going to happen that's going to change the makeup of the town. People would like it to be discussed with a little bit of forethought.
I think we all would like it to be discussed, but we don't know yet because it's not even,
Right, we can't really engage in a dialogue with something that's not on the
But it
table
will
and
be
project it. We all came out to support no closing with school the last time that it came up. You know that I was sitting in the audience along with you. We will all be there. There'll probably be another committee formed. It's probably going to take a year in process. So I don't feel comfortable engaging in a dialogue with the town council here. That's something that is not on the table yet. I do want to address a few points that was brought up. You had made some comments that the town council was more gearing for, an elderly population, not really for family units. We do have some information that, the time that, Wakefield Meadows and whatnot, restricted population, age 55 in Brandwin and so on and so forth, that met the needs of the time of what was needed in this community. As it stands right now, we currently are seeing a trend back toward family dwellings. We have East Matunic Farms, which has 40 lots and units, 70 affordable, and it's now under development with 70 building permits. We have the development at Stone Soup Farm. We have another one at Woods on Laurel Lane, the Broad Rock Meadows, the Glen at Saugatucket, Kingston Pines Estate. We have over 100 units geared for family units in this town. So I think that the information that was brought forward by you at other meetings was that we're not really supporting the growth of family units. I think that the information that we've gleaned from the town side, that we absolutely do support family units. We have over 100. We're also quoted as the 2012-2013 through the third quarter reported by the Rhode Island Builders Association documents that we are the largest out of all of our towns, Charlestown, Exeter, Hopkinton, Narragansett, North Kingstown, Richmond. We have 72 new units in 2012 and 62 in 2013. So that was based on the Rhode Island Builders Association for family units. So maybe we're just looking at different documents, but we feel strongly here in the town council and this town chambers that we are supportive, of family units, and if that is the need and the desire of this town, that is what we're going to fully support, which we have documentation to show that we have. So
Is that documentation that could be put into the record?
I would put it into the record. We can give you a
Okay,
copy.
and so are you
of it.
saying that the town did have some role to play in Wakefield Meadows, which is age-restricted?
And I think that it met the needs of the town at
But
that time.
did the
Yes.
town actually have a role in that? Did the town encourage that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your microphone on?
Right to come forward for that.
Right.
It's
Okay.
allowed under the zoning and under the comprehensive plan. The
So it goes through
developer
the-
also had the right on the 10 subdivisions that you just listed to come forward for family units.
Right.
Okay,
So-
well, that's my question, is...
We
you know,
feel as
so
though-
it's the kind of question that I'm asking, I'm trying to understand what role the town has played. So if you're saying the town did not have a role to play in Wakefield Meadows being age-restricted, then that answers my question. It's not that complicated.
Well, the building permits, the impact fees, and all of that come to completion and go through the process of the town. So builders brought that forward. So it wasn't something that the town went out and sought, but, we do. I mean, we have a lot of documentation here that we support family dwellings and support families, and you know that we all sit here and support the quality of education for our South Kingstown. So I don't think that you can ask for more of a stronger town council in support of education, and hopefully that's going to continue for the next generation.
Okay, so I'm just going to finish up with I just want to put a couple things on the record that I did pull from, Growth Management Plan, 2011, 2013. I'm going to be accused of being cherry picking, which is not the case. If you guys wanted me to talk for half an hour, I could read the whole thing.
No.
Yeah,
Yep.
we've got the growth management plan. We've read through that, and the documentation that
Okay, well, I
we're
would
gonna-
like this to be put into the record.
Okay, and I'm going to hold you to 2 minutes.
Okay. So from that plan, it says, this trend is viewed as reflective of demographics in the community, market forces, and regulatory allowances, which encourage multi-household housing development. So it's right there, part of a town document, saying that regulatory allowances would encourage multi-household dwelling. All right, so I was treated very rudely at the end of January, like what I was bringing forward had no validity. 2 members in particular were incredibly...
All right, let's
we're-
just stick to the facts, and we're going to,
Oh, I have a right to speak.
yep, and
Okay,
I'm
I
going
was-
to give you 1 more minute, Jonathan.
Okay, I
so
was
that-
treated rudely, and 2 of the members should apologize to me.
All right, we're not going to get into that now.
Fine.
If you have
So,
any...
okay, so now,
All right.
for the record,
I do
for the
want to just
record,
finish. I do want to finish that if you have any problem with anyone here at the town council table, please go through the chair. And I think that you and I have gone through that. So
I'm telling you,
I don't want to move back.
Madam President, I'm telling you that.
Right. So I don't
I-
want to go into the past, but that will be the process that we'll follow moving on.
That's what I'm following right now. I'm putting on the record that I feel I was treated very rudely, and that I should get apologies from 2 of the town council members. What I was bringing forward was valid. It should be part of a larger conversation. I understand you don't want to have it. I'm going to put on the record that there's an article people can find online if they want, from the South County Independent, November 15th, 2007. Headline is, Savio Property Eyed for Mix of Housing. So the Savio property was going to have affordable housing built on it. Instead, the town ended up buying it, and now that's where they want to put the community gym.
Okay, and if I can just comment that the needs...
Can I just close out, please?
I thought you were finished. My
I
apologies.
wasn't, no problem. January 24th of 2008, headline, Council Cool to Supporting Housing Fund. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's interested in these issues. I think they are, because now they talk about the Larchwood, something different's going to happen there, and people say, wait a minute, why didn't we talk about this? So now here I am, March 10th, 2014, saying, here's some issues that should be talked about. The town council is going on the record saying, we'll deal with it later on. And so I'm saying, I'm bringing forward articles. If people are interested, all they need to do is go Google South County Independent, November 15th, 2007, Savio property eyed for mix of housing, which now today is where the community gym's going to be built, if you guys just go full throttle straight ahead. And also, January 24th, 2008, Council Cool to Supporting Housing Fund. And
Thank
I've
you.
and I've certainly have more than made my point that the town has a role. I mean, it's growth management plan. It's all about how many kids are going to be in the school system. And if you guys could have taken this to be a positive dialogue, but you chose not to, I came in, how many times I said, I'm not being critical of 15, 20, 30 years. I understand how it made sense.
Okay, Jonathan, I have been more than
Thank you.
patient. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Jonathan, for the record, I respect you, and I respect your opinion, but I do have to say, I don't think we as a council ever said, that we're going to look at this later on. I don't.
Thank you, Meg, for clarifying that. And I'm also recommending to the public that articles that are brought forward, the discussion is over. Articles that were brought forth from 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 2007 and 2009. Times have changed, and, you know, I'm not going to hold my hat on articles in the past when we in South Kingston are in a different place now. So thank you. That's my recommendation for the public. Comments from interested citizens. You know, I have a few dates that I just wanted to, and I know I'm not going to be able to put my fingers on them, but the South Kingstown CARES Spelling Bee is at the Elks on this Thursday, the 13th, and it is 5:30 to 6:30. There's going to be some food, and then there is going to be the spelling bee kicking off at 6:30. And we have our full town council, which will be represented that night. And I want to let know. Oh, also, okay,
I have something on Thursday, I'm sorry.
okay. I also want to let everyone know that the town council was the winners last year, so
I know.
rah, rah, I will be a judge that night, and we're looking forward to it. And there was also a memo that I got, and I can't put my fingers on it, but there's a free skate at the Boss Ice Arena, and it came from Diane Kearns.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Does anybody have the date on that?
The 29th, I think.
The 29th?
I think it was.
It was at like 6 o'clock or something? Yeah, so that free skate, if the community would like to be aware of that, and it was involved with Big Sisters and Big Brothers, I
Brothers,
believe.
yep.
Yeah. So thank you, Diane, for sending us that email. Any other dates that we should be aware of? Or functions? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to move to the town manager's report.
Two dates that I hope that you're aware of is that there is a budget work session on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock with the school committee to review the property tax transfer from the general fund to the school fund for the 2014-15 year. The council has also got scheduled for 5 o'clock on March 17th, the adoption of the preliminary budget for the 2014-15 year. This will be all 6 funds that the town operates with. So that will be at 5 o'clock. We'll then go with budget process will be during the month of April, where there will be 2 additional public hearings on the preliminary budget before it's adopted at the end of the month of April. So certainly the public is invited to both of those sessions, one at 7 and one at 5 o'clock on Monday. Glad to answer any questions on the 2 reports that have been issued subsequent to the last council meeting, if there are any.
Any questions for Steve? Seeing none, I have found that memo from Diane Kearns. It's Big Brothers and Big Sisters has invited CARES and Friends of CARES and the whole community to a free skate event at the Boss Arena from 2 to 4 on Saturday, March 29th. There will be free food and skating along with the URI's men's hockey team and RSVP March 15th to, and there is It's an email address, so it's mdamato@bbos, obviously bbos.org. So hopefully the community can join on March 29th, 2 to 4, free skating at Boss Ice Arena. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to Town Solicitor's Report. Any questions for Michael? Seeing none, the last comment I want to, we didn't finish all of the work in the work session, so after we conclude the meeting for the regular session, we're going to continue the town council for the work session. And then brings us to appointments.
I move that we appoint Richard Jurzak to the Economic Development Committee. There exists four vacancies, but I move that we appoint him from March 2014 to serve a 3-year term, which is until March 2017.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And Dale, if we can maybe, for the next meeting that we're all here, that Fran Alexakos, we can maybe get her in for an interview. I think she's applied for EDC as well.
She did.
Thanks.
And I move that we appoint Karen De Silva to the Historic District Commission. There are 3 vacancies there, so I would say let's appoint her to the longest term, the term that expires December 2016.
Second.
We have motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I move that we appoint J. Eric Scherer to the Planning Board. There's 1 vacancy. That term expires in May 2014, so will he have to reapply at that point, right? Or just say he wants to continue on? Is that what I'll have to do?
I'll
Okay.
reappoint.
So his term goes until May of 2014, and if he wishes to continue on the Planning Board, he just has to let Dale know. Great.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, I'm going to make a motion for,
Paul will do it.
Paul will do it.
Yeah, I move for the Conservation Commission, where we have, let's see, Christopher O'Connor, whose term would be until, let's see. Let's check to say when it would be.
September 2016, I think it was.
16th? Okay. It doesn't-
September 2000.
Oh, to September 2016, we have one vacancy. I move that we appoint him to the Conservation Commission.
Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second.
I'm
Any
going to abstain now.
discussion? Okay, Carol's going to abstain. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? 1. So it's 4-0-1. And zoning board?
Anybody, zoning board? There's 1 vacancy on the zoning board.
we
No,
have some-
there's reappointments on the zoning board. Both Igor Runge and Robert Toth, their terms expired March 2014. I move that we reappoint them for another 3-year term, which brings them to March 2017.
Can we take each one separate, Cal?
Okay, I move that we appoint Igor Runge. Am I saying his last name right?
Runge.
Runge? Sorry, Igor. I move that we appoint Igor Runge to, reappoint him to the zoning board for a 3-year term, which will bring him to March 2017.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Abstention? Motion carries 4-1-0.
And I move that we reappoint Robert Toth to the zoning board of review. His term expires March 2014, and I move that we reappoint him for a 3-year term until March 2017.
Okay, do we have a second on Bobby Toth?
I second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, and it is 4-0-0, with Mr. O'Neill not being present. Okay, next item on the agenda that is it for the business today. We're going to take a break and let everybody get to their business, and we're going to finish the work session.
Motion to adjourn, or?
I don't think we have
Motion to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries 4-0-0. He told me he could vote for Toth.